everybody. I'm Susan Howard, sitting in for Steve Bressler, and this is The Safety Net, Brookline Interactive Cable's TV show dedicated to education and resources about domestic violence, particularly important during these COVID times. Let me just say that domestic violence is about power and control. It crosses all generations, all faiths, all ethnic groups, all communities, all economic classes. And with us today is Reverend Reginald Smalls, pastor of the Bethel Pentecostal Church in Boston. But Reverend also has a very, very important specialty for domestic violence groups. He is a security specialist. Reggie, good morning. Thank you for being with us.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Would you tell us a little bit about your background, both in domestic violence and security?
Well, as a pastor, I have had limited times, thankfully, to speak to people who've been in domestic violence situations, and there's always a stigma with it, and people aren't always forthcoming with information from what I've experienced, and so it's a difficult thing to deal with. It's a difficult thing to go through, and what I'm constantly trying to do is avail ourselves to resources that can help in case that happens. So that's I've seen is that people are ashamed of this situation. I'm talking about the victim, and they don't really want to talk about it, but know that they need to talk about it. So I've had a couple of instances where that has occurred, and you have to advise them on what they need to do at that particular moment. So it's not a obviously not a pleasant topic, and it's a difficult one because there's so many factors involved. But it's one that does has affected even members of the church, if not them directly, someone they know.
Do you have resources available? Does the church have resources available that you can direct people who come to you to?
Sure, not our church directly, but we tie into a network, and we seek them for resources that can help in domestic violence. I have a good friend who's a minister as well, and she works directly in that, and has an organization that works with domestic violence situations. So not directly in our church, but we go outside of our church to find people who we can refer them to.
Good. And have you seen an uptick during this COVID? I'm going to call it the COVID period, although I don't like giving this a title. But have you seen an uptick in people concerned, in people in complaints, in people in fear?
Not personally, but yes, I've heard that the numbers have gone up, which is understandable. As much as we know the need to stay at home, and I actually have been enjoying it, and most people are finding some good things about staying at home. It's not great for everyone because their home situation isn't a good one. So yes, there has been that uptick in it, and again, not personally, but I hope that people are getting the right help.
Well, if they're not, can they call you if we give your information at the end of the show? Would that be all right?
Sure.
Okay.
Yes.
Now you wear another hat, which is very, very important. You're a security specialist. What does that mean? Keys, locks?
I'm a security consultant, which means the actual hardware, the alarm system that you would have for your home or for your business. The door sensors, the motion detector, the keypad. We actually push the buttons in. Cameras may be involved. A window sensors, and there's a whole gamut of things that you could use. Your smoke detectors, your fire alarms can be connected to it. So there's a lot that goes into it in securing your home or your business. So it's the hardware, not a security guard or cyber security.
No, I didn't mean either of those. When you say the hardware, would this be appropriate for a domestic violence shelter, for somebody living in a home? Could you install a secret camera if a survivor or victim asked you to? How would this help domestic violence victims?
Sure. In a shelter, that would depend on the setup of the shelter, because we do businesses as well. So depending on their setup, because they'd have to determine when to turn it on and when to turn it off, and what would be the appropriate way to do that. So yeah, we definitely can do businesses as well. And the home is a great possibility for a domestic violence victim, because it would help them to feel more secure in the home. So there would be the securing of the doors with sensors on them, or windows, and that if anything is opened, that triggers that, then a signal goes right to our central station, and then they signal to the police, so that the police are summoned as well. There's a call made to verify whether it was a false alarm or not, and if you don't know the code when they call, then the police are going to continue to come in the way if you're able to state the right code. Because sometimes you do hit the alarm accidentally, or someone else does it who and they didn't do it right, then we can cancel the call and it becomes a false alarm.
So this security system would be for when the abuser is not in the house. Am I correct? They're out of the house?
Yes, for the most part. But there's also on almost everyone's control panel, you have on the keypad, I should say, you have a emergency button that you can hit. So for fire and for police, so it can be a one button push, and that might be helpful, even if the person is in the home or in the building, that you can hit that one button and it goes directly to the fire or police department. That's your 911 call with one button.
But Reggie, the abuser would know that this system is in place. Am I correct or not? Can you set up a system where the abuser wouldn't know? Let's say you can get into a house or an apartment or a dwelling, abuser's not home, you set something up and they don't know about it?
I don't know if they would not know about it. It's because if you know what to look for, you have to have the keypad in an area that you can get to. What you're able to do with smart technology, I'm sure you've heard the term a smart home, where you have an app on your phone or your keypad or even on a laptop, where you're able to arm or disarm your unit from there, and that may be something that can be done. That's to let someone in or to let someone out, but it's not so maybe secret in that sense that it's not using the keypad, but you're going to see that you're going to see where the keypad is, and you may recognize the door sensors. We don't have any hidden cameras, although there are. I know that is something that people make, but we don't have that as part of our equipment inventory.
Do you use infrared? I'm not sure that I'm asking the right question, because I'm not sure what infrared is unless it's on a TV detective story. But do you use infrared, and would that be a good thing for survivors of domestic violence?
Infrared is part of the camera system. Infrared, high definition, night vision, being able to shed a light on the person, even if it's at nighttime. So that will be helpful in identifying who the individual is. It doesn't, I don't know if it deters them, but it's a quality of the camera that makes the camera more efficient in detecting who the individual is. So in that sense, yes, you could say it would be helpful.
Reverend, is there anything you could do just on your phone? Could you have that one push to 911 on the phone, or one push to a shelter or a domestic violence agency saying, I'm in trouble, help, and then it would give the phone number? I don't know if I'm making myself clear, but I'm just thinking that would probably be the best thing.
Sure. No, that's a good idea. That there may be an app that does that. The way we're set up is that you would put your 4-digit code in to arm or disarm your building, your home. So there's not a distress button there, but that's a really good idea. I'm sure there's an app for everything. There's maybe an app that does that. That doesn't have to be tied into any alarm system. That maybe
Right.
that is available.
Do you know about the app, or could you look into the app? Would that
I
be
can look into that. Yeah, I don't know of it, but I can look into that.
It might be a good thing for your security work to say, listen, we know you want anonymity. You don't want the abuser to know that you have any outside help, but here's an app we can help you install. Bingo, bingo, it goes right to the police or to you or to the security, and then you would notify them. Do you think a physical security system gives people peace of mind in this day and age? Really?
I think it does. I think everything you can do helps. So having that alarm system can definitely give you peace of mind. It may even be a deterrent to someone who wants to do something because they know, oh, there's a camera here, or there's a way, if they know how the system works, that person can get to, to the police, or or if something goes wrong, there's going to be a loud siren that the neighbors will know what's going on as well. So yes, there's definitely security or peace of mind that takes place once you have one, I would think.
Have you from your customers, have you heard, oh, I feel so much better now that this is installed, at least I know I can get help, even though I'm isolated? Has anybody said that to you?
They've said they felt better. It wasn't because of a domestic violence situation, but just in general, feeling better, feeling that peace of mind, mainly when no one's home, to know that their house is secure. Or in a couple of cases, maybe the spouse would be out of town or working at night, and they want to be able to secure the home at night while that spouse is away. But so in that sense, yes. But I haven't heard, again, I don't know if that's the case, but it has been because of domestic violence.
Wow. Does your company have any specific programs for domestic violence victims or survivors, or families of domestic violence victims and survivors?
We don't. I'm not sure how we would set that up. I guess, I mean, it would take full disclosure from them that is what's going on. But yeah, we don't. I'm not sure if anyone does have a program like that in the security industry. So it would probably going through a domestic violence program that may be able to help them out that way, but not directly with the company.
Have any shelters? I'm sorry. Have any shelters reached out to you and saying, listen, can you help us? We value our anonymity. We don't want people to know the address. We don't want people to know where we are. We need some security for people coming and going.
I know we have secured some rooming houses. I'm sure we have shelters. I personally don't have any as my clients, but I'm sure as a company, yes, we've done shelters, and that is normally how they work. For us, we just need a name to have it for billing purposes, and we go by that. There's nothing we need to publicize, so that would work fine with us. That wouldn't be an issue at all.
What about hotels and hospitals?
For security?
Yes.
Some limited small hotels. I'm not sure of any hospitals that we have. There tends to be a more stringent bureaucracy to get established in a hospital, and maybe different security measures. But we have the capability to do a hospital because we offer so many different products and partner with so many different people to offer that. But I don't know of any hospital. Maybe we have some. I know we have some of the clinics that we secure. Yeah, the local clinics,
Mhm.
and we have a chain of those that we supply security to.
I'm going to veer off of domestic violence for a minute, but given the fact that this is phase one of the restart of our economy and our lives, really, have you seen an uptick from small business owners saying, listen, I need a security system put in pronto, I'm about to open up, or I need a security system put in because I can't open up until phase two or phase three?
Not a particular uptick in that area, because I think the reopening has been so gradual, and they're doing other things to reopen. What we're helping to ease that for customers is where we're offering a thermal imaging unit which measures your temperature. So we're getting a lot of interest in that, where their clients or their employees can just look at a camera and have their temperature gauge right away. And we have a kiosk unit, a smaller unit that can do it in 3 seconds. And then we have a bigger unit, maybe for larger volumes of people coming in, where they can have up to 30 people in 1 second have their temperature measured, whether they're wearing a mask or sunglasses or a hat, it'll do it. So that's one thing that we know is something that people are looking to do to help and preventing the spread as much as possible, and making sure that they're safe to reopen. So we've had more interest in that lately in the last few weeks.
That's fabulous. So that would be good for shelters. That would be wonderful for shelters, people coming in to make sure they're COVID free.
Exactly.
Working
Yep.
on
At
and
least their temperature. We can't make that claim that they're COVID free, but yes, at least they don't have a high temperature.
This is terrific. In the last few minutes, do you have any words for shelters or domestic violence survivors, or even batterers? Beware of our security system. Any words of advice?
I would say to those who are victims, please do your best to get help. Talk to a friend, talk to a trusted neighbor, clergy, a family member, someone who will help you and advise you properly, and do your best to be safe, whether that means leaving, or if you think security measures will help, if you think that's enough. For the batterer, I ask that you get help too, and that you find a way to admit to what you're doing, and that there's a need for help, because if you don't, it may just get worse, and it will definitely get worse for you. There are people who have been victims who are taking measures that they need to make sure that they are safe. So the batterer needs to get help as well. And shelters, we thank you for the work that you're doing, and continue to do that work. And if there's any way I can help, or anyone else in this field can help you out, we definitely want to be there for you as well, to help you to keep your clients more secure.
And Reverend, how can they reach you? You're a pastor of the Bethel Pentecostal Church in Boston, but is there a phone number where they can reach you?
Sure. 617-212-1404. That is my cell. And I can be emailed at rsmalls617@gmail.com.
Reverend Smalls, thank you so much. This has been really, really helpful. I wish you all the best, and be safe. Thank you.
Thank you. Same to you, Susan. You be safe as well.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.